Hey guys, Phobia again, and today um, I'm just going to go over some of my macros and add-ons that I use, since that has been something people ask me a lot of, like what am I using for Arena specifically. And so I'm just going to go over some of that and hopefully just make a quick, easy, small tutorial video for you guys who are just wondering maybe what to use for Arena. Okay, so first off, we're going to go ahead and start with some basic mouse over macros that I think most people should use if they want to save that split second of time. So if you guys are running Shadow Crash, right, you can put the Shadow Crash macro on here, which also works for your it'll work for MD. If you're a Holy Priest or you can do, or a Disc Priest, for instance, you put Dome, or you're a Holy Ward on the ground, or so things like that. Not Holy Ward, the little, you know what I'm talking about, the AoE thing. So you just put this little mouse over macro right here. It's just show tooltip, whatever spell you're looking for, and then /cast bracket at cursor, just like this, right? So I'm gonna put a basic in the description. I will be putting a basic of each one. So I'll be putting like /cast at cursor, and then you guys can just copy it and fill in the spell in the description. So yeah, that's what this was, and this is what, instead of putting the little green indicator on the ground, right, you just click it and it goes right there, right? So it saves it an extra split second. You have to click or do something. It's nice for me. And again, that also is with MD. See how I don't have to use MD on the ground. Same with a massive spell, same macro. You can do the same thing for Resonator if you're playing like RPS, or if you're a Holy Priest or Disc Priest and you're trying to play RMP and you want to use Resonator, same thing. Those are Resonator. There's also an at feet macro, but I don't use that because I'm a caster. Next ones you guys should look into are Calm Harm macros or just focus macros. So my Calm Harm macros, how they work is that if I'm targeting the training dummy here, and I have no focus target, my macro will still work on him. So my focus macro can also work on my current target if I don't have a focus macro. But as soon as I put somebody on focus, see, now it stunned him over there with my stun because I have the same macro on both. So those are really nice. These Calm Harm macros can work again. I'm used to having mouse wheel down as a kick, but in Arena it's my focus kick. So and in World PvP I don't use shift mouse wheel down or control mouse wheel down. I just use mouse wheel down. So it works for me having that one macro. This is called a Calm Harm macro. For other Shadowpriests out there, this is a huge one. You can bind it to whatever, but Mind Flay for me seems to be the best. It's a cancel dispersion and cancel mind control. So my mouse wheel up is my Mind Flay, but when you're in a dispersion, you can't cast spells. See how I instantly just cancel my dispersion there? You can't cast spells, so it won't cast the Mind Flay, risk like getting kicked. It just instantly, if let's say I have to get out of dispersion really quickly, my mouse wheel up, very quick. Same thing with mind control. When I mind control somebody and I want to drop my mind control, I mouse wheel up for my mind flay, and you can't instantly channel mind flay from a mind control like that, so it just drops it for me. So that's why mind flay seems to be the best for my cancel aura macros. These are my cancel aura macros, or my stop casting macro into my mind flay. Again, you can put that into whatever you guys feel more comfortable with, but mind flay, again, it works with all. So, and it can't instantly cast, so I like that. So I recommend getting that. The next thing I have are going to be at player macros. So for 2v2 arena, if you're playing Void Shift and you don't want to have like a arena 1-2-3 macro, you could do this. This is what I do for twos. So I play with my buddy Locks, I love, and I'll just switch this with other players if I'm running swap. And you just do /cast at the person and then Void Shift. For if you want to have a swap macro. But this also works with other macros I'm going to show you. Like, you guys all know I am a Night Face Shadowpriest. So, for instance, this is my wall macro right here, right? So, show tooltip, the Guardian Fae, and then whoever I play with, whoever I'm in the arena with. So, generally, I give it to my warrior for reset, or when people go him, and we know they're going to go him, I'll do that. And then I also have keybind for individual Fae Guardians. So, on my second action bar. So that's a really good one to have. Just because you don't have to worry about, clicking and targeting, or if you know they're going to be the target, you can instantly just send it to them. But you also want to make one for yourself. if you know you're gonna be the target in most games. You just want to make it for yourself /cast at me, because if you don't have this right here, the /cast at you one, and let's just say you're running regular Night Fae, right? What's gonna happen is when you use regular Night Fae, it's gonna put the mask on your enemy. See how the mask is not on me, it's on my enemy. And when I shield myself, it doesn't go back to me, right? The mask stays on your enemy. So it duplicates that insanity regeneration, but you don't get the double CDR, the double shields or wall. So you want to have a at you macro. So if you're going to use it for yourself for CDR or defensives, you want to have it /cast at yourself. So this is /cast at EJR. Again, I'll put this in the description. Next is my burst macros. I have 2 different ones. One's for myself when I'm just doing things for me in the world, in battlegrounds, and I'm not giving anybody anything. And then I have my at player who I'm playing with macro. So I'm playing with a warlock. It will be like during my void eruption or during my go, it will cast PI on them, right? If I want to just do a PI off go, I have it on my second action bar with the keybind. But yeah, it's just /cast bracket at and whoever you're using it at. So this is what I do during my go. If it's me, right? If I'm not having anybody, PI is instantly activated during my go. I don't have to worry about having 2 different keybinds. It just sends it, and that's for my PI. But again, if you're sending it to your warlock, like let's go, give me PI. You can PI cast your stuff, or you can just PI and not cast void eruption. You can just walk and give him PI and not have to worry about casting void eruption. So that's a big macro if you want to just save a keybind. Of course, I still recommend putting it on its own keybind, just so you have that that option to give it to somebody individually before, after, or whatever, without having to have arena 1, 2, 3. What else do I got here for you guys? That's pretty much it for macros. Most of these, I said, they're just at cursor, focus target, cancel aura, and like at target. So that's gonna be for my macros. Next up, I'm gonna go over some add-ons that I use that I think are good for arena. So for me, some of these things aren't prevalent, like classic floating text, right? That's just to show the different damaging text when I attack somebody. These numbers right here, that's all that's for. So it's not a need. Details, I do say details is a guaranteed thing you need in arena, because I feel like if you're learning the game, you need to know where damage is coming from. Where's the damage coming from? How is it happening? What's killing you? What's your damage? So you can play around that. Skipping down to here, lose control. This displays CC effects on me. So when I get CC'd, if you guys watch the stream or other YouTube videos, you'll see that when I'm CC'd, a ability will pop up that'll show how long I'm CC'd for. So I know if it's DR'd, I know what type of CC I'm in, if it's a kidney or silence. It will just pop right in the middle of my screen and give me a countdown. So I do recommend everyone having that. That's called lose control. OmniBar is extremely important for people who want to learn to play the game efficiently. Let me go ahead and open that up. What's that's going to be under? Interface, add-ons, OmniBar. Okay, so this tracks cooldowns that people use, and you can pick which cooldowns you guys want to track, right? So just for example, test all. These are all the cooldowns I track based on class. It'll tell you how long, when they use it, so it'll pop up when they use it, so you know when it's being used, like Shadow Blades or Combustion, and then how much longer until it's back up. So that's what the counting down is when it's back up. And how you want to configure that, that's my macros, is you want to go into spells, and then you go into Death Knight, Demon Hunter, like when they use meta, how long, when they use blur, when they use darkness. So it's a good way to know, oh, wait, they don't have cooldowns for our next go. So I would recommend going through this, and you don't need everything, right? You don't need you don't even know when they use dash. You don't need to know these things, in my opinion. But some things I feel like are very important, like Frenzy Regeneration, when we proc it, when they use it, Cenarian Ward, when we do swaps on people, things like that. That is OmniBar. Very important add-on for Arena. OmniCC. This just does my cooldown appearance for my UI. So when I use like my fear, right, and then the cooldown text on the bottom, how it's darkened and it has countdown timers, that's all that is. So you can get that or not get that. That's just a visual thing for me. I think it's really good. Quartz, I think, is really good for most casters. If you guys are using standard casting bars, I guess that's fine. But for me, I love seeing the shadow mend, right? I can go off visuals instead of reading it. So if I set myself to focus, I can see my focus target is casting a specific spell, not by reading it, but just the picture. So if I see a Chaos Bolt, I know by the picture this guy's casting a Chaos Bolt, and my eyes instantly recognize that and react to it. So you can adjust this how you want. You can put your cast bar wherever you want. I love Quartz as a caster. I think it's very awesome. I recommend other casters getting it. Not something you need, but something I think is good to use, that I use. So Sarena is like Gladius. I prefer Sarena. Let me go ahead and show you guys what that looks like. So this is Sarena. I use Blizzard tournament style. And this is how I track DRs, trinkets, and stuff in Arena. So you can see DRs on, let's say I was pawing somebody, or silencing or stunning or whatever, it'll pop up how long their DR is left and that it's been DR'd by what. You can track trinkets here. So if they're human, you see Airman for themselves, or Will to Survive, or whatever it's called now. Their trinket, you see these things, so you know when they're back up, or when they trinket. And then they have cast bars right here. I love this add-on. It tells you the specs, like I said, and everything in Arena also. It's just, you can't not have it. I feel like it's just too good in Arena to be able to track. You can also click, right-click and left-click to set focus and current targets. It's very, very good add-on to have, and you can do other versions of it. Again, I use Blizzard Tournament style. Something of Gladius or Sarena is needed in Arena to be efficient. Whatever you guys prefer, go with. That's the one I use. TellMeWhen. So TellMeWhen is like weak auras, and it's what you see on my screen here. Like my shadow crashes up, my Night Fae spirit blink is up. If I get insanity, so let me get some insanity. Right, oh, Unfurling Darkness. So I know when Unfurling Darkness is up just by when it cast. Let me get some insanity real quick. All right, so now instead of having to look down at my bars to see if I have a Devouring Plague ready, I just move that aura to my middle of my screen, so I know, oh look, Devouring Plague, Shadow crashes up. I don't have to look at my bars. I don't have to take my eyes away from the fight. So nice. And I set that up myself. You can set up so many things with TellMeWhen. These are all the different things that I track. So if I'm playing with the Druid, when Ironbark's on me, if I'm playing with the Paladin, if I have Ultimate Sack or Small Sack on me, I track Spinning Crane Kick procs in Arena, and I used to track Echo and Resolve in Arena, and this will all pop next to my health bar, so my eyes are already looking towards there, and it's in the middle of my screen, and then so I just track things like this, so I know when things are ready and when I have cooldowns up, like Embrace, how long I have Embrace up for until my healing's gone, things like that. People use weak auras. I just personally love TellMeWhen. I love the customizable about it. How customizable it is. Sorry. I love it. It's my favorite add-on to work with and play with. I love it. What else do I got for you guys? ThreatPlates. So ThreatPlates is right here. Is how I you see my dots on people. How it's like. The transparency is lower for my off target, but when I switch to it, it changes. This is just how I track dots, how I track my CC, things of that nature. That's just how I prefer to have ThreatPlates. I know people use other things like tidy plates and stuff like that, but it's very configurable. So you can just go into ThreatPlates, you can go into widgets, auras, buffs, what buffs you want to see, what buffs you don't want to see, debuffs. Debuffs you want to see, yours only, everyone's, what debuffs you don't want to see. So for instance, look at all the debuffs I don't want to see. I don't want to see my Siphene. I don't want to see Kevin's Wrath, like the little icon of Kevin. If I'm Necro and I'm using my ability, he's out. I don't want to see Mind Flay, because I know when I'm channeling Mind Flay, it's on the target. If I'm not, it's not. Siphene, same thing, right? If my Siphene's alive, it's hitting the target. If it's not, if it's dead or gone, I know this, so I don't want to see these things because it just clutters looking for what I need on my dots, right? Looking to see how long my Night Fae's up for. Looking to see how long my DP's up for. Like, these are things I want to see on the target more than anything. And ThreatPlates allows you to configure that. And so that's why I like it so much. Oh, and TellMeWhen. Let me show you something with TellMeWhen, just because I didn't really go over that. If you guys are trying to do TellMeWhen stuff, you open a new thing, you right-click, and then you go to your icons. And if you want to track a spell cooldown, or a buff, or a debuff, or a reactive ability, like for instance, if you want to track when to use Shadow or Pain or Shadow or Death below 20% HP, and you're not really good at managing that, you can just put that, and in the middle of your screen, Shadow or Death will pop up once they're below at or below 20%. So you don't have to worry about that if you're trying to like be in the heat of the moment, and you're learning Shadowpriest, things like that. Very easily to do. I have an old video that goes really in depth in my add-ons from BFA, but I use the same add-ons since BFA, so nothing's changed. If you guys want to check that out. What else I got here? Trophy GCD is just for you guys who watch the stream. On the bottom right of my screen here, you can see when I cast abilities, what I'm using, how I'm using it, things of that nature. That's all that is. It's just for streaming purposes. And that's all the add-ons I use. I don't use too many actual arena needed add-ons. I use a lot of just cosmetic add-ons like PvP sound, Quartz, classic floating text, Drusvar, things like that. Trophy GCD, Reflex to track your game wins and losses. But nothing that's, I think, those aren't needed in Arena. Those are just extra add-ons I use. But for Arena, I probably use 4 add-ons. ThreatPlates, TellMeWhen, Sarena, and OmniBar. Those are the only, and LoseControl. LoseControl is a definite one, I think, also. Those are the 5 I think you need in Arena, and then the rest are just helpers or cosmetics, and everyone has different things. Like, I use a basic UI. I know some people use like special UIs. I'm not a big fan of that. But yeah, that's all I got when it comes to my add-ons and macros, guys. I don't have much more. What I am running right now is I'm running between a Mindbender build and a pad meter build. That'll be in a different video. The 2 builds that I'm using based on what we're queuing into, and I'll go into that like I said, in a later video. But this one was just to go over my add-ons and my macros and the reasoning, what they do and why I use them. If you guys have any other questions, please let me know. And I'm not going to tell you, but please like the video. If you guys want to comment, if you want to subscribe, I'd appreciate that. Again, it's not needed, just watching the video. I'm glad you guys came out here. And I do a Patreon page. I've gotten a lot more support through you guys, so I really appreciate that. I know I keep mentioning it, but you guys are continuously supporting me every time. So I love all the new Patreons that came in. I think I'm gonna start doing a Patreon thank you page at the end of my videos here soon, just to show you guys some love, because you guys are coming in clutch. And come check out the stream, twitch.tv/aphobiagaming. If you guys have any other questions, let me know. And again, I'll link a basic macro and the add-ons in the description.